Where an individual branch circuit supplies a stairway chairlift, or where a stairway chairlift is supplied by batteries as the primary source, it is allowed to be cord and plug connected provided the cord does not exceed how many feet. This is going to be a walkthrough of a licensing exam question using my navigation method and the 2026 NEC. The first thing I like to do is identify keywords in the question. Branch circuit is definitely a keyword. The reason being is because it's an article, Article 210. Now, this question is specific to chairlifts, so I doubt it's going to be in Article 210, but that leads me to the next keyword, which is stairway chairlift. I don't know the exact code article off the top of my head, but I know it's special equipment, which is Chapter 6. So I'm thinking 610 or 620 or something like that. Either way, I'm just going to flip through the 600s until I find it. Batteries as the primary source, kind of keywords, not a code article, but something to keep an eye out for. Cord and plug connected is definitely a keyword. That can be a wiring method. That could be a disconnecting means. It could just be the bold text. All of those things we need to keep an eye out for, provided the cord does not exceed how many feet. So feet is what we're looking for, and see, again, some sort of length. So again, I'm inclined to open to the 600s and keep searching until I see stairway chairlift. Again, it's good also to memorize the chapters because again, I know that Chapter 6 is special equipment, and I'm going to keep flipping until I see stairway chairlifts. Okay, so this is Article 620. Now that I'm here, I'm going to narrow it down to part numbers. Don't just start reading, narrow it down further. Part 1 is general. Okay, Part 2 is conductors. Part 3 is wiring. It could be in Part 2. It could be in Part 3. Remember, cord and plug connected. I mean, that's a wiring method, right? These are conductors, right? So it could be there, but let's keep going through the part numbers until more things pop out at us. Part 4 is installation. Part 5 is traveling cables. Part 6 is disconnecting means. It could be there. As I said earlier, cord and plug connected is kind of an interesting one. It's definitely a keyword to keep an eye out for. Part 7 is overcurrent protection. Part 8 is machine rooms. Okay, machine rooms is getting pretty specific. Part 9 is grounding and bonding. Part 10 is emergency. So I'm inclined to go to, I think, Part 3 first, and I'm going to keep going until I find something that pops out. So now I'm going to look at the bold text. Wiring methods. Okay, here says, A says elevators, B says, oh, that says cars. We're going to skip all the 1, 2s, and 3s until we see B, escalators. C is platforms, lifts, stairways, and chairlifts. 1 is wiring methods. Again, we're looking for cord and plug connected. We're looking for batteries. We're looking for the cord length, right? Flexible cords. I'm not seeing that. Class 2, flexible cords is over here. Let's zoom in because this might be the answer here. Flexible cords and cables that are components of listed equipment and used in circuits operating at 30 volts or less. Okay, it does not saying anything about batteries or cord and plug connections. Okay, so this is not the right area. So let's keep looking at the bold text. Overcurrent, air conditioning. Remember, we're still in Part 3. We still have other part numbers to go. Not every question is going to be straightforward, especially on your licensing exam. Okay, so it's not Part 3. Part 2, remember, the closer you are to the front of the code book or the article, the more general the information is going to be. So I don't think Part 2 is going to be beneficial right now. Let's go to disconnecting means, which is Part 6, okay? If it's not here, then I'll go to Part 2. Disconnecting means in control. Disconnecting means is 620.51. A says type, B says operation. We might just have to read. C says location. Nothing is popping out at me. So let's just start reading. A single means for disconnecting all ungrounded. That's a zoom in so that you guys can follow along. Main power supply conductors for each control system of an elevator, dumbwaiter, escalator, moving walk, platform, lift, blah, blah, blah. The disconnecting means shall be an enclosed, externally operable motor, fuse, circuit switch, or circuit breaker. The disconnecting means shall be a listed device. Okay, there's a few exceptions. Let's make sure that you can see it. Where an individual branch circuit supplies a platform lift, the disconnecting means required by 620.51 shall be permitted to comply with 430.109. Again, we're not seeing batteries. We're not seeing cord and plug. Where an individual branch circuit supplies a stairway chairlift, or where a stairway chairlift is supplied by batteries, okay, we're getting verbatim now, as the primary source, the stairway chairlift shall be permitted to be cord and plug connected, provided it complies with 422.16a, and the cord does not exceed 6 feet in length. Okay, you don't have multiple choice, but I know that 6 feet is going to be my final answer here. The licensing exam loves exceptions, okay? So if you see an exception, it is absolutely worth reading. I almost skipped it because disconnecting means wasn't necessarily a key word here, but I'm telling you, the more you put the method into practice, the more you're exposed to journeyman and master's level questions, the more you're gonna get the hang of how I need to narrow this down, what I need to read, what I don't need to read. So hopefully that gave you guys some clarity clarity of this. I thought it was a pretty good walkthrough of a pretty difficult question. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Comment down below if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more questions just like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.